Hello everyone. So today we will be discussing tissues. Okay, so there are different kinds of tissues. Whenever we talk about tissues, we have already learnt about cell. Okay, so these cells, when some specified kinds of cell which are functionally similar, they come together, they will form a tissue. So these cells, it will form a tissue. Okay, so that is how we get the tissues. All right, so they have got some specified function which is there. All right, so now we will be saying whether are plants and animals made of same types of tissue. If we talk about the functions, if we look at the functions of animals and plants, we see animals, plants are fixed at one place, whereas animals are moving. That means they have different functionality, so they have different kinds of tissues. So there is the structural organization. So again, different types of tissue will come together, they will form an organ. And this organs put together will form an organ system, and this put together will form an organism. Okay, so that is how the structural organization of organisms will take place. Okay, levels of organization. Now coming into the plant tissue. So plant tissue, when we talk about the plant tissue, as you see here, there are three different types of tissue which is there. We have apical meristem tissue, which is found at the tips. It's found at the tips, where it is, there is a high growth that is possible. Shoot tips or root tips, you can find this apical meristem, okay, to increase the height, the length, and all those. Then we have lateral meristem will increase the width, okay. And then intercalary meristem will be there in the middle, that is the internodes, okay. So there we will have the intercalary meristem. So if we look across here, the growth of the plants occur only in certain specific regions, and that is where we have got the meristematic tissues. Okay, now these meristematic tissues will help the plant grow. So the new cells will be produced by the meristem, but as they grow and mature, their characteristics will slowly change and they will become differentiated as components of tissues. Now first coming to the apical meristem, which is found at the tips of the stems and the roots. The girth of the stem or the root increases due to lateral meristem, which is the cambium, and intercalary meristem seen in some plants is located near the node. So cells of meristem tissue are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls, and prominent nuclei. Okay, now we talked about the meristematic tissue, and the plants have permanent tissue as well. Okay, so when we talk about the permanent tissue, so these are, as the name specifies, it is permanent tissue. So they take up a specific role, and they lose the ability to divide. So they are not dividing, so they are completely a permanent tissue. Okay, so this process of taking up a permanent shape, size, function, this is called differentiation. So differentiation is going to lead to a development of various types of permanent tissue. Okay, so what are the different kinds of permanent tissue? We have simple permanent tissue, as well as we have the complex permanent tissues. Okay, so the simple permanent tissues, what are the simple permanent tissues we have? Okay, so when we talk about a simple permanent tissue, it consists of relatively unspecialized cells with thin cell walls, okay, and they are basically living cells. They are loosely arranged, and thus there are large spaces, that is intercellular spaces are there. So it is basically to store food. Okay, now in some situations they will also contain chlorophyll to perform photosynthesis, and then it is called chlorenchyma. In aquatic plants, there are large air spaces, so that is, they are that is a parenchyma. Okay, so this parenchyma type is called arenchyma. Okay, so flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue, which is collenchyma. It allows the bending of various parts of plants like tendrils, stems of climbers without breaking down. Okay, so now we can find this tissue in the leaf and stalk below the epidermis. Cells of this tissue are living and they are elongated and irregularly thickened. Okay, next, another kind of tissue, as you see here in the diagram, we have an parenchyma cell, we have an collenchyma cell, as you see the collenchyma. So herein you see the parenchyma cells are there. This is parenchyma cells. We have collenchyma, which has got vacuoles basically for food storage. We have sclerenchyma, which is thick lignified walls are there. Okay, and we have this is the transverse view of the sclerenchyma, and this is the longitudinal view of sclerenchyma. Okay, next, so yet there is another permanent tissue, which is sclerenchyma, as I was telling you, which makes the plant hard and stiff, and these cells are dead, these tissues are dead, and they are long and narrow as walls are thickened due to lignin. So often these walls are so thick that there is no intercellular space inside the cell. Okay, now when you observe the outermost cell or outermost layer of an epidermis, you will find the epidermis is usually made up of single layer, and in some plants it's living in very dry habitat, the epidermis may be thick since protection against water loss is critical. Now this entire surface of the plant, it has an outer covering which is called as epidermis, and it is going to protect all parts of the plants. So the epidermal cells on the aerial part of the plant often secrete waxy water resistant layer on the outer surface. This aids in protection against loss of water. Okay, so it protects against loss of water, mechanical injury, invasion by parasitic fungi, and all those things. So it is basically a protective role that it plays. Okay, and epidermal cells are usually flat in nature, and often their outer and the side walls are thick and than the inner walls. So if we also observe some small pores within the in the lower part of the leaf. So that is the stomata which is present, and this stomata is two kidney shaped cells which is called the guard cell, and they are necessary for exchange of gases with the atmosphere. Transpiration, which is the loss of excess water, that also takes place through stomata. Now, epidermal cells of the roots whose function is water absorption, that is commonly bear long hair like parts that greatly increase the total absorptive surface area. In some plants, like in the desert plants, there is a waxy coating of cutin. Okay, so this is again for waterproof quality, so the water is not being expelled out. Okay, now as the plant grows older, the outer protective tissue, they undergo certain changes. A strip of secondary meristem, which is located in the cortex, forms layers of cells which constitute the cork. So you will have the cork layer, so all the ruptured epidermis and all will form the cork. Slowly they will form the cork of the tree. Okay, next, now we told about the simple permanent tissue. Now coming to complex permanent tissue. So complex permanent tissues are basically what? Complex permanent tissues are your xylem and phloem. So they are a combination of different kinds of permanent tissues. Okay, So like xylem and phloem, they are the great examples. They are both conductive tissues and constitute the vascular bundle. This vascular tissue is distinctive feature of complex plants and it is required for the survival. Now if you see at xylem, so if you see the xylem, it has got tracheids, it has got vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. So it is a combination of all these things. Tracheids and vessels have thick walls and many are dead cells when mature. So the tracheas and vessels, they are tubular structures as you see here. This allows them to transfer water and minerals. Parenchyma cells, as I told earlier, it is used to store food, and xylem fibers, they mainly have a supportive role. Okay. Now if you talk about the phloem, the bee, the diagram of the bee, if you see phloem is made up of 5 types of cell. First is the sieve cell, then we have the sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Now the sieve tubes and tubular cells with perforated walls, phloem transport food from leaves to other parts of the plants. Except phloem fibers, other phloem cells are living. So only phloem fiber is not living. The rest of them are living. So what did we learn till now? We learned about the plant tissue. What are the different kinds of plant tissue we have? One is we have the meristematic tissue and one we have the permanent tissue. Okay, we have the permanent tissue. Now meristematic tissues are apical meristem. Then we have, that is the tips, we have apical meristem. Then we have lateral meristem and intercalary meristem, right? And then permanent tissues, there are 2 types of permanent tissues. One is simple permanent tissue and one is complex permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissues are of 3 types: scalenchyma, collenchyma and parenchyma. Complex permanent tissues are 2 types: xylem and phloem. These are 2 vascular bundles. So xylem has got different types of tissue. The tracheas is there, then vessels are there, xylem parenchyma is there, and phloem has got 5 types of tissue: sieve tube, sieve plate, phloem parenchyma, companion cells. Okay, so that is it about the plant tissue. Thank you.